What is up? It's been a hot minute since I have made a video, but we are back with another gear video, kinda. My last one about the Nikon ZF, people seem to enjoy. This one is kind of in relation to that. It is the Thypoch 28mm f1.4. This lens has been talked about like crazy online. I think a lot of that have been sponsored videos. This is in no way a sponsored video. I spent my hard-earned money, all 350 of my American dollars on this lens. I got it on sale at B&H used. So not on sale, it was used. But it is a really standout performer, especially at that $350 price point, which I got it at. Reminder, it is $500 and some brand new. I think if I paid $500 with this, I still would have been very happy with it. But the fact that I got it at the price that I did makes it way more worth it for me. You may initially notice that my copy is rubber banded. This is because the back cap does not like to stay on. It's very loose. Have no concerns about it on the camera. It's super tight, stays on no problem. Just the cap does not want to stay on. I don't know if it's how they cut the lens mount or what. Additionally, this is a Nikon back cap, and the Thypoch back cap does the exact same thing. I have the exact same problem. So that's just why it looks the way it does. And there's a sticker on the front lens cover. Now that that's out of the way, we can kind of continue on. So as I was saying, this has been talked about like crazy, and I fell victim to marketing, sort of. I was waiting for one of these to go used on B&H in Z-mount because I did not want to buy additional adapters. And I finally found one for a really great deal and snapped it up. And the minute I got this thing and put it on my camera, I think I fell in love with this. I have never been a 28 shooter. I was always like a 35 or a 50, or even sometimes like a 75 or something. I have 50mm on a crop sensor. But putting this on, everything just looked super, super cool. Again, not super familiar with wide angle, especially primes. I had a 24-70 once, barely used it at 24 unless I was doing like a full body photo of someone. So having the option to go wide and an extremely shallow depth of field has been extremely fun for me. It has also enabled me to use this thing super late at night, which I do not commonly get to do. This lens that I'm filming on is an f2, which is great in low light, but just having that extra stop or so has been extremely helpful. And manual focusing at f1.4 I thought was gonna be really, really hard. I was like such a thin plane of focus, especially on a 28mm, but it's really good with focus peaking, never have any concerns. And honestly, if you've never manual focused a day in your life, I think this would be a good lens to start on. The focusing tab and the focus throw is super smooth, and it's really easy to get focus on slow moving or still subjects. Moving subjects obviously requires a little bit more skill, a little bit more effort, and even then you might still miss. But all in all, just a super fun lens to run around with. This thing has been kind of becoming my daily carry lens. I used to keep the Nikon 40mm on my camera kind of all the time, but this has kind of replaced it. Having the wide angle for just kind of casual walking around has been perfect because I can do kind of a full scene, I can do a portrait, I can do a full body portrait, I can do even a close-up because this thing can focus as close as, what is it, 1.4 feet or 0.4 meters, which is, I think, pretty close, especially for a lens like this and at its price point. I don't notice things like a bunch of fringing or a bunch of weird bokeh or anything like that. You know, there might be a little bit of it. There might be a little bit of fringing. I'm on a 24 megapixel sensor. I'm not zooming in that much or cropping in that much to really see. The colors look fantastic. They look like all my other lenses. Sharpness, again, like I said, great. Manual focus, easy to use. What am I missing? General build quality, this thing is a tank. My 40 mil is plastic. This is pretty much all metal, I think, save for the focusing tab on the lens. Yeah, just super solid. One thing I will note is that this lens cap cover, lens hood cover thing is only like pressure fit on. There's like a little bit of felt on the inside, which is great. It doesn't scratch up the lens. But if you bump into things, you know, kind of hard, it can sometimes fall off. The lens hood is great. It comes with the camera lens, which again, not many brands do, especially a metal lens hood that just kind of slots on like that. It has the cutout for a rangefinder camera, I think because they're just manufacturing these all the same way, and then the mount goes on last. That being said, it looks very cool. Everyone always asks me if it's a Leica lens or if it's a film camera lens, or if my Nikon ZF with it on is a film camera, which it's designed to look like one, but no, it is not. All in all, I'm really, really blown away with the kind of performance I'm getting out of this thing, especially at the price point. I don't have a ton of insight to add into any of the details on this thing. I'm just someone who likes to pick up my camera and use it. So I hope you enjoy some of the pictures here, and I hope you consider buying one if you find a good deal on them. Like I said, this is not paid in any way, but I really do appreciate everything about this thing, and I honestly start to consider checking out their other primes if I can find them at a good deal. But sometimes I already have the focal length covered, so I hesitate to do it. So if you have any of those kind of other focal lengths and you're seeing something different than I am, or you're seeing better or worse performance than I did in the photos that I showed you, let me know. Maybe I can talk about it if I can get my hands on those, and if not, I'll just take your word for it. But I hope you enjoyed my little review of this Thypoch Samara 28mm f1.4 for Nikon Z mount. Peace.